Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Param. Om Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste. Welcome back to our Mandukya Karika. We have seen the mantra 6. No, the Karika 6. We went up to the mantra and then we covered several Karikas. Yeah, and then we have concluded last week. We are talking about the causal body. Yeah, this principle, like the butter comes out of the milk, but the butter comes out of the milk because the butter was there already. Latently or potentially built into the milk. The milk has the potential for butter. We will never get butter out of water, for example. So that should bring about the principle, the Vedanta principle called Satkaryavada. It's the world, the universe is an effect which is pre-existent in its cause. Okay, is the cyclical theory of manifestation, which just, instant manifests from the causal to the physical, from the unmanifest to the manifest. But it was already there, but it was suppressed. So it's, to my take, the only theory regarding creation that we can find some intellectual satisfaction, makes some sense, So it's a very important topic of Vedantic doctrine that needs to be remembered. It means that you never create anything because anything is already there in the mind of Ishvara, so to speak. That potential prakriti or material formation in the macrocosm causal universe is called Maya, or Prakriti, Mula Vidya, and so on. When there is Pralaya and Laya, everything resolves back in this macrocosm causal condition, which is called Pralaya, and when the whole universe disappears, and Laya, when our personal universe disappears from time to time. Okay, what else we have seen? But after any dissolution, manifestation follows, as we know, just like the wake-up state it follows the sleep state. Everything which was dormant rises back. It means to say it was already there and it rises back, and rising back exactly like we experience in the morning when we wake up is the the theory of instant manifestation. Okay, everything, boom. There was no process to bring about the universe from our deep sleep. So we are there resting the causal body, and then the universe instantly comes back. Everything suppressed in the dormant state rises back instantly. And what happens to consciousness? Consciousness remains unaffected. Consciousness is the only principle not undergoing any change. It's beyond manifest and unmanifest. When the body-mind complex manifests consciousness, lends reflected consciousness to the body-mind and to the universe. Thus, as many minds, there are so many reflect consciousness will form. So reflect consciousness here is pointing to the body-mind complex, the jivas, all kinds of jivas, not only human jivas. But when the body-mind complex are manifest, consciousness lends reflect consciousness, and lends reflect existence to the inert universe as well. So it lends itself to create the stage, the physical material stage on which these living creatures can interact and learn some things. Many jivas are going to appear there, but consciousness is non-dual. So Gaudapada says that the inert world exists in potential form in the Pranya Ishwara quarter. So this text presents 4 quarters. There is in the causal universe, the total manifestation is said Ishwara, and the Pranya is integral part of this Ishwara. So as a knower, known experiencer, that quarter, the causal quarter, everything exists in potential form in that Pranya Ishwara quarter, okay, which was referred in the 6th mantra, become the manifest world. The unmanifest world is good as good as non-existence, because it does not allow us any experience / knowledge. And then Swami Paramarthananda comes back on another day and starts reviewing a little bit the previous Karikas. And he talks about the mantras as well. Regarding this Ishwara, mantra 6 point out that Ishwara is associated with the causal body and the causal universe at the total level. So Ishwara is consciousness, a modification consciousness that brings about something called the universe, which stands on the trilogy of creator, creation, and creature, to experience and know the creation. So this mantra 6 point out to the fact that Ishwara is but causal body, the causal body and the causal universe. So the Pranya and the Ishwara, which is the causal universe, the macro-causal universe. Since Ishwara is associated with the causal universe, Ishwara is called the cause of the entire universe. So, as we know, Ishwara is a material cause because it's out of its inert aspect, tamoguna, that it produces the universe, and out of its chit, or sentient, or conscious aspect, because the whole manifestation is made out of spirit, which is energy, in that sense, the fundamental nature of energy, and energy / matter. So this insentient aspect of Ishwara brings about the physical material universe. And the conscious aspect of Ishwara, meaning to say pure sattva guna, brings about the conscious universe, all jivas. Sometimes I venture in presenting a concept that I never found in the text, but say that Ishwara is the material cause, and it is the intelligent knowledge cause of the universe, Pura Sattva. And then I throw there, and it is the energetic cause as well, because it needs energy to project and sustain this universe. But never mind. So therefore, gross universe and subtle body and subtle universe pairs are born out of the causal universe, and only the causal universe. So it's saying that the real cause of the universe, if we believe that there is a universe that was caused, it's caused by the macrocosmic causal body, also called Ishwara or Maya Ishwara or something like that. As we know, Brahman can never really cause anything, but there is this Maya Shakti that brings about Ishwara. And then the both guys together, they decide to have some fun, as it seems, and then they project this universe. So it's out of the causal universe, and they rest in the causal universe and resolve it at the time of pralaya. So any doubt, please interact with me, any suggestions, any sharing.
I have heard Swami P say that the nimitta karana is both the intelligence and skill, which points to your energy idea. You know, the both have to be together.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, skill is more in the sense of know-how. Know-how is more like knowledge, ability. But thank you. Yeah, it could be. I never heard that quote, you know, that Ishwara is also the energetic cause, not only material field, but it flashed in my mind. And from time to time I mentioned it, but I'm a little bit reluctant because I haven't found this suggestion in any of the texts of Swami Paramarthananda or anybody else.
And I had another question. You mentioned sattva as the isn't sattva material as well?
No, sattva is pure knowledge, pure intelligence, is the most subtle of the three energies, you know, and has no physicality, although it is an energy and we can never dissociate completely satya, you know, or sattva energy from the fact that sattva is an energy and it's below the line of Maya, and fundamentally it is inert. But this energy is self-conscious as Ishwara and produce the reflect consciousness in the Jiva Atma. So we can discard Ishwara as being unreal because fundamentally it's a manifestation of Maya, and anything below Maya is anathema. But it is a sort of anathema. Likewise, our human intelligence, which is, it has so much chit going that produce sentience. So this sentience, human sentience and Ishwara omniscience, you know, is very it's very equal. Let's say, you know, is aikiha, you know, is identical of the chit aspect of Brahman. So we could put maybe on those words. You understand? So
yeah, I'm trying to think back to Tattva Bodh. Sattva is the first of the gunas to manifest, right?
yes, it's energy,
So,
but it's energy filled with knowledge and intelligence. So when we talk about Ishwara, and especially with my Brazilian group, and you probably noticed that in Brazil, they have a lot of influence from Christianity. They are religious people. And so they tend to see Ishwara, God, as someone up there and so on. So I present Ishwara as a self-conscious being. And its body, it's the fabric, the very nature of its body is knowledge and intelligence. Just imagine a body that has no tamaguna to sustain, there is no rajoguna to sustain, because it is pure knowledge. On the other hand, there are some other suggestions in the scriptures that below the line of Maya, all the three gunas, all the three energies, they get mixed up. Therefore, in certain texts, we present Ishwara as an aspect of the Prakriti of Maya, which is already a mixture of the three. There is, in this Maya Prakriti, there is an aspect or part or something in which there is Sattva, Pradhana, Prakriti. So it is dominate or predominate by more sattva energy, you know. So it's Maya. There is a certain aspect of Maya which is sattva pradhana prakriti, meaning to say there is also some rajoguna and some tamaguna, but there is a predominance of sattva which produces this being, which is non-material to our five senses, but can be understood somehow with the help of the scripture as a being of pure knowledge and intelligence, which is not easy to wrap our mind around such a being, you know.
But there it is everywhere. So
Yeah. Regarding this Ishvara, Mantra 6 point out that Ishvara is associated with the causal body. Since Ishvara is associated with the causal body, Ishvara is called the cause of the universe. And the physical and the subtle universe spring forth now, or appears from the cause, which is the cause of it now, and resolves back into it, as we understand. Ishvara, therefore, the cause of the universe, Ishvara is Atma when associated with the causal body and causal universe. So Ishvara, what is Ishvara? Is the self, is Brahman, is consciousness, is the Atma. Okay, Ishvara is the self when associated with the macrocosm causal body. Okay, so what is the causal body? Is the intelligence of the entire universe, present, past, and future. So this intelligence remains there, potentially retained, and then consciousness, once apparently associated with this body of knowledge, of unmanifest knowledge, produce what we call Ishvara, the intelligent, efficient cause of the universe. So is consciousness or Tripura associated with the macrocosm causal body? No, but somehow Maya makes it appears that this macrocosm seed of intelligent seed of the universe, potential seed of the associates with reality so that it takes on an apparent reality. We can never bring about reality without association. We can never bring about apparent reality if we don't associate with reality itself. So all of that to say that everything is Brahman. There is only Brahman or consciousness or Turiya, you know, and Turiya is not, it's associationless. Yeah? But somehow Maya makes it these superimpositions or associations, you know, with subtle energy such as pure knowledge, pure intelligence of the entire universe, present, past, and future, you know, and in order to enjoy an apparent relative existence, it needs to be associated with the only source of existence, which is Brahman. The Upanishad point out that Ishvara is the intelligent and the material cause. That's why I remember rereading that. And how about the energetic cause? In that context, Gaudapada wished to discuss some points about the creation because Ishvara is said to be that cause. And everything is the effect. So now Gaudapada is going to give us the pleasure of enjoying this topic of the creation, which is a very, very subtle philosophical topic. Gaudapada enters into a brief discussion of creation, which will be very elaborate, discussed in the third and the fourth chapters of the Mandukya Karika. So we are going to be patient, wait until we get there, but these analyses of Gaudapada are going to be very profound, and they're going to bring us to that point that we know, you know, that there is no creation to begin with, you know. The first point that Gaudapata highlights on this sixth verse is that the entire creation is not a new creation by Ishvara, because nothing can be newly created. Matter cannot be created or destroyed, as we hear, even from science. What about Ishvara? Can Ishvara be created? Can Ishvara be destroyed? No, Ishvara, Jiva, and Jagata, they are eternal principles that exist eternally, unmanifest and manifest. So Ishvara is not created. There is no beginning of a creation, and there is no beginning of the creator. The creator, the creation, and the creature, which is integral part of the creation, they exist eternally, unmanifest and manifest. So therefore, nothing can be created. This concept is applicable to Ishvara as well. Although Ishvara is omniscient, omnipotent, it's not really created. It's just again Mithya. It's a Mithya Ishvara, and it's a difficult concept to digest for most of us, unless we have a very, very subtle and clear understanding about the nature of Mithya and the nature of Satya and the importance of Mithya, and furthermore the importance of Ishvara, the creator, the apparent creator, creating this apparent universe on which the apparent jiva can interact, grow, and learn the true nature, the absolute nature of this apparent reality. And what does it do to the jiva, knowing that it's end of the game for the jiva, and the jiva can just rest in consciousness, in Turiya as Turiya, and no more play for you. You came to the land of the end of the game. So if Ishvara creates, what else does Ishvara create if not creating? So godness only brings out what is potential, the potential form of a lump of gold. The ornaments of gold are going to be namarupas. Electricity is in potential, dormant, and unusable form in atom, as we know, and other source of energy. And but it can be manifest. Creation is nothing but modification from the unmanifest to the manifest. Conversion from the unmanifest to the manifest. And we have to add our favorite Vedantic word, conversion from the apparent unmanifest to the apparent manifest. Because none of that even exists. Now, the causal body is the unmanifest, but even that is below the line of Maya. And then it's just something that can be understood, but it's not really real. Ishvara must have two things in potential form, because the universe has two aspects. This is nice to further clear that point. Ishvara must have two things in potential, working for himself or herself, because the universe has two things, aspects. One is the inert material component, and the other is the conscious component. The conscious components go to all living creatures, and the physical inert material component go to the physical universe. So from that Ishvara, the inner material component gets converted into the physical universe, and the conscious component of Ishvara remains as pure knowledge. Remains as is pure knowledge. So you can never have a creation without knowing, having the know-how, and know how to sustain a creation. This is all pure knowledge. It is a reflect form of consciousness. When we say pure sattva guna, is already a reflection of consciousness, but it's the closest alteration or modification, of consciousness, which many times makes us to resolve Ishvara as Brahman, Ishvara 2 as Ishvara 1, it's the same thing, how much the same thing, because it's so close, it is consciousness reflect as pure knowledge, pure intelligence, and so very subtle topics. Everything that is potentially there, that alone can manifest, Ishvara included. This manifestation is wrongly called creation. An important lesson of Vedanta is that creation is not a good word. So manifestation is a far better word. Either things manifest naturally, instantaneously, instantly, or we need to work to bring about things, So therefore creation, the whole concept that God created the world in a certain number of days, and just imagine how much work to create the entire universe, So how many skills, one has to be a carpenter, a farmland, and a scientist, So it's impossible. There is no creation in that sense. Either it manifests here, Swami used the word naturally, it would be more to the point, either it manifests instantly, or you need to do a lot of work to bring about something like this. So how can someone or some principle or some being create something like this? It's impossible unless it was already there, but unmanifest. We get confused because when we see the manifest universe, we see it changing. And then we see, oh, yes, so that's how you create the universe. You have to evolve the basic energies and, materials and chemical and physical. So it appears to us that, no, it took billions, trillions of years for Ishvara to create this universe, But now, Mithya, this universe, which is manifest instantly, it appears as in a process of evolution or expansion, But it's not so, because what is evolution? Oh, no, we're evolving. Are you sure that humanity is evolving, So in Mithya is that which never remains the same from one moment to another. It's a flux of constant modification, and that gives an idea of evolutionary process of creation. No, it's just that keeps moving and changing, and things not necessarily evolve. I mean, most cases or many cases involve, or it goes the opposite way. As we begin to lose access of this revealed knowledge, like our sampradaya is disappearing in this materialistic Kali Yuga. Which part Ishvara contributes to the universe, inert universe, and which part contributes to the sentient universe? In Karika 6, Gautabara used the term prana. And prana here is used referring to the causal universe. This is very interesting. When I start reading this, I say, sometimes I like to, something does not click to me, and I say, no, I'm going to find some fault, some little fault here. I'm gonna find something that I can say, no, this is not really clear. It's not real knowledge, there is something abstract about this, and then I start looking, and then I say, oh my God, it's everything is so beautifully structured and supported by logic and intelligence. There is no flaw in these expositions of Swami Paramarthananda. So likewise here, the causal body here is giving this strange name called prana. So pranas are energies that sustains all living creatures. And then I say, why? Why to call the causal body prana? So, and he says it's very rare to use this word. It's within a certain context here. And why he's using this confusing name expression here, the reason is during our sleep, we are in our causal body. And everything has resolved in deep sleep state except the prana shakti, which functions despite any effort on the individual's part. So, and then when I read that shortly before we begin here, I said, okay, it's good. So this is logic. So when we go to deep sleep, we go back. Now our subtle body resolved, rolls back into the causal body. But in the causal body, there are two things being held there. One is our causal body, and our vasanas and so on. And the other is the pranas. And the pranas are there because without the pranas, we die during sleep. Pranas has to keep the all of physiological systems on, so that we can rest. And then in my mind came, I say, okay, that's good enough. But prana is there in deep sleep. Why? Because in deep sleep, the causal body is still hooked up to the physical body, and the physical body needs the work of the pranas. And then I say there is something strange about this logic here, because if we take the analogy of the deep sleep, and then we have the Jiva Atma, which is rolled back into its causal body, and it's there, but the prana is still sustaining the physical body because that causal body is still associated with that physical body. In deep sleep state, we are in the causal body, as we know, with prana functioning, and the word prana is used for the causal body. So far, so good, but still, but in this case, prana is there because the causal body is still hooked up with the physical body. Now he comes at the total level. Prana is the causal universe. It's not only the causal body, but it's the causal macrocosmic universe. In this Karika, prana is the causal universe. It is the Maya principle, okay? So it means to say that not only the Jiva Atma, but the entire universe in this context is called prana, because prana is the energetic cause of the universe. And now we go to the energetic cause, which is there potentially, during the pralaya and the laya, okay, which is the deep sleep of the Jivatma. The Maya principle, this insentient component of Ishvara projects the entire material universe. So this is again the energetic pranic cause of the universe, okay? This insentient component, because the pranas, they are basically highly consisted by Rajoguna, as we know. There is a lot of active energies to intelligent design to operate this living body, So this insentient component of Ishvara projects the entire universe. So it is insentient. The pranas are insentient because they are not self-conscious, but they are intelligent design. Okay? So it's highly intelligent, but they are not self-conscious. Ishvara is self-conscious, but the pranas are not. And these pranas must be there in the macrocosmic causal body so that out of pralaya, boom, the universe is manifest. Again, we go to the energetic or the pranic cause of the universe, which is associated with Ishwara. The sentient component of Ishwara, Prana, Raja, projects the entire universe, whereas Purusha, the conscious principle, creates the sentient jivas. Beautiful. So, and then after reading it again, I had to take my hat and say, oh my God, I apologize so Paramarthananda, because you do not leave any room for doubts and criticism or flaws. It's everything rounded. Do you agree, Mark?
Yes, it goes back to what you said earlier, that the gunas can't actually be separated below the line of Maya. Sattva and Rajas and Tamas are all in there, with a dominance of Sattva, but there's still Rajaguna in there, and it all works together to form one beautiful whole.
Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you, Mark. This is sentient. Whereas the Purusha, the conscious principle, creates the sentient jiva. The mind of every jiva forms the reflection of original consciousness. So within the subtle body, there is a reflecting medium, which brings about a reflection of that original consciousness. Ishwara enjoys that reflection because he is the macrocosm reflecting medium, in his configuration of Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. It shines with Chit consciousness, reflect consciousness, okay? But it allows the omniscience and knowledge of the entire universe, past, present, future. So the mind of every jiva forms this micro reflecting medium, producing reflect consciousness, just like a mirror forming the reflection of one's face. Thus, the original consciousness generates an innumerable number of reflect consciousness called the jivatmas, like one sun forming many reflections when there are many reflecting mediums. The jivas with the reflect consciousness are the living beings, and the material universe is the object physical material universe available for what? Experience and knowledge. So we begin experience the physical material universe and then trying to figure out the utility of these different configurations and one thing or the other. And then in due time, with certain maturity or mental qualities, one starts experiencing and inquiring to understand the nature of this material physical universe and the nature of the mind, which is the sentient manifestation of consciousness in our very intellect. So what is the nature of this physical material universe is a good question. What is the nature of the mind is a huge question. And then we start going into Vedanta. Beautiful, this Karika. Causal body is always a very profound topic. Karika 7. Some cosmologists consider the creation to be the glory of the Lord, but the creation is considered to be comparable to a dream or a magic show by some others. So how are we going to understand creation? There are many philosophies. So some are going to say that, oh, it is the glory of Ishwara, it's the blessing, it's the love of Ishwara and so on. Some are going to look into it in a little bit more logically and say, no, it's very comparable to the creation I experienced during my dreams, And then you say, oh, okay, that's interesting. It could be just another projection, but what kind of project? So, and that one is a little bit more close to Vedanta. And some others are going to say it's just a trick, a magic show produced by Maya. Yeah? So I like the hint, the pointer, yeah, of the projection, a dream-like universe, because that's what brings us to this most fundamental analogy of the three states in which the dream state is not, and the dream universe is not much different from the awake state and the physical material universe. This topic of creation is highly debated philosophically in all the systems of theology, atheistic, philosophy. So you can even throw the creator, the atheistic people, but still they're going to be discussing philosophically. Even science, one Paramarthananda says, they want to understand the nature of this creation. Gaudapada says that varieties of theories are held by varieties of people, including in the Veda and Puranas. And he enumerates some of them. Hundreds of questions about creation and about life come up in people's lives. Some of the debaters of creation or on creation point out that the creation is the glory of the Lord. The 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a description of creation being the glory of the Lord. Some other creation thinkers visualize the creation is the dream of God. The Lord's dream is a waking state. So this is a better picture, better pointer. The Lord's dream is our awake state. Another version is that the creation is like a magic show produced by Maya or Ishwara or Bhagavan. Gaudapada only presents all these versions and does not say which one is right and which one is wrong. In Vedanta itself, all these versions are presented here and there according to the context of the teachings. So again, Vedanta presents some notions and concepts and then later on removes them according to the context, according to the stage, the level of the teachings as well. There is nothing wrong. And again, the notion that creation, if you talk about creation and you present the way creation comes about, you assume, you assume that there is a creation. So if there is a creation, it's more like a dream. But what dream? So Lord's dream, and then we can make some parallels between the human being dreaming, and the dream, the collective dream or the dream of Maheshwara. And all of these constructs are good. They help us to pacify the mind so that we can go to some other topics which are much more relevant for self-knowledge and self-inquiry and self-knowledge. Our mind sometimes needs some pacification, and then we need some concepts to give rest to our doubting mind. In respect of creation, some of these philosophers are convinced that creation is a mere will of the Lord. Astrologers consider the origination of the universe, origination of beings, to be from time. So it means that the creation is due to time, So some other debaters point out the creation is the will of God. Ishwara alone was present in the beginning of time, and he willed, I have a huge desire to create the universe. And it came out of his will. They are very certain, these people, about this, and maintain that their vision should not be questioned. Some others say that Ishwara is not responsible for creation, but creation is caused by time. So I don't even want to get there, because time is even a more difficult topic and non-essential for our work, very philosophical, and just try to understand this philosophy, this school, this line of thought that says that Ishvara is not response, time is response. Oh my God. Now we are really complicating things, huh? How are you going to make sense of this? No, time is responsible for this creation, the beginning of creation. Time is responsible for the arrival of creation. Astrologers who always base every single time hold the same view. No? So as I told you, I don't even want to go there. Karika number 9, some others consider that the creation is for the enjoyment of Ishvara. Others consider that the creation is for the sport of Ishvara. What desire is possible for the ever fulfilled one? This creation is the nature of the Lord. So it says like, it was not the will of Ishvara, it was not a desire, like in the previous one, it was not due to time. All these different considerations. It says that it's just like creation is for the enjoyment of Ishvara, the Lord. It's just like Lila is the sport of the Lord. So none of this makes sense for people like us, you understand? Because behind any one of these notions and concepts, there is a will, there is a desire for enjoyment, desire for lila, for play, sporting. You know, oh, I forgot myself, I became Jiva-Atmas, and now I'm lost in samsara, and I need to find my way back, and the only way is to remember that I'm limitless consciousness. So what kind of perverted sport is this one? So it makes no much sense at all. So the only thing that makes sense is this is an apparent reality. It's called Mithya. It's available for experience, and we see this reality. There is beings, living beings, reflect consciousness that are caught up in it due to karma, okay? Due to karma. And we need to bring about spiritual punya so that we can grow spiritually, so that we can get out of this game, because it's a tough game. What desire is possible for the ever-fulfilled one? Yeah. What desire is possible? This creation is the nature of the Lord only. Now, here say there is no creation, there is only consciousness. When we say that this universe is of the nature of consciousness and consciousness alone, and then we see, okay, but still, you know, there are namarupas, there is this projection, there is this superimposition of all these configurations, you know, produced by Maya Ishvara. It is a projection, but it's available, it appears, and it's available for experience, and so on. So there is duality here, no? Satya and Mithya. So this creation is only consciousness, but it appears as the universe, the physical and the subtle universe. But again and again, all the scriptures say that everything is but Brahman. No? The nature of Mithya is Sat Chitananda, conscious existence of infinite, limitless nature. So, but how come it appears? This project appears. Nobody knows how Ishvara Maya does that. So there are those that hold the view that Bhagavan, Ishvara, created the world out of his will only. And when asked the purpose, Bhagavan is producing this world, they say that Bhagavan created it for entertainment. Some others say that the creation of the world is a play of Lila and so on. You know? In many other different answers at different times. But all these answers will only satisfy the mind temporarily, as I was saying. You know, it's very common. There are people who want to know why this. And somehow it's important. Sometimes in my Brazilian group, people come with questions which are not really relevant for the work that we are doing. But I know that I need to give an answer, even though it's a temporary answer just to satisfy the mind, and so that the mind does not become a loose shredder in regards to the scripture and the teacher. So it's going to work temporarily, but they are not really relevant questions requiring really relevant answers. So it's just something to pacify the mind. But all this will work only temporarily. When one probes into these versions of creation, they will lead to more and more questions that can never be answered. Yeah? Creation, the way it comes about, and the possible motivations behind it, or principle that bring about these creations, is beyond the comprehension of the human intellect. Absolutely beyond. We will never understand Maya. Any answer regarding creation will lead only to the mystery about Maya and the creation of this apparent universe. Just the level of the mystery will shift. So it's a mystery, but now you gave it an explanation, and then the baby is going to stop crying for some time, and then the babe start crying again, and then one needs to give another answer. The dreams are based on the recitation of prayer. The Lord dream. Take the Lord dreaming up this universe similar to us dreaming our dreams. So this is the one that is the most satisfying answer to the mystery of creation. But in our case, the dreams are based on the registered impressions of the experience we have had in dream state. Every dream presupposes an awakening state. That will not apply to Bhagwan unless we understand Ishvara as the totality of all vasanas deposited in the macrocosmic causal body. Those vasanas, they are all based on previous experience of Jiva Atmas in the awake state. We develop vasanas in the awake state, and then they are deposited, they go into the macrocosm, and when we see Ishvara as the totality, and then we can say, okay, so Ishvara, by his grace or by his compassion, with the help of Maya, needs to project his universe so that we can continue experiencing it until we grow. No, this is the only understanding that makes some level of sense, at least to me. Yeah. So we dream, we know that it is a projection, it comes from our vasanas, as vasanas do not come from nowhere, they come from our past experience, they are the impressions, memories, subtle memories, our past experience, so they presuppose awakened state and experience in the awake state. So likewise, the projection sustenance of this universe is based on the macrocosm body of vasanas, and those vasanas as well are based on what? On the physical, in the awakening state experience of all Jiva Atmas, physical and subtle experience of all Jiva Atmas. So similarly, karma and jnana cannot apply to Ishvara. Definitely, Ishvara is not subject to karma and birth and rebirth. Janma. Similar, karma and janma cannot apply to Ishvara, of course not, because Ishvara is a system, okay? It's there only to facilitate all Jivatmas to process its karma, process its vasanas, so that we can convert experience into wisdom until we can get out of this strange game. So Gaudapat says that any theory of creation will generate a lot of problems, and using the word creation regarding the universe will never give an intellectual satisfying answer, okay? So I have certain notions in regarding to the theory of creation that gives me satisfaction, and I hope I can help pacify the mind of other people now with this understanding. But this understanding should never take these theories to be the absolute truth, because the absolute truth we're going to see here in the chapter 3 and 4, in which he's going to prove that there is no creation. Okay, so this is all part of this projection. The singular individual projection of one's residual memories of one awakened state experience, projecting the dream world, and the totality of all minds, all vasanas, resting during pralaya, producing the universe, unmanifest, which comes about from time to time, manifest again, as a projection that somehow appears to be physical, but physical to what? To our instruments of perception. But as we know, we don't see many things because our instruments are not tuned to perceive certain energies as visible and material, tangible. You understand? So it is quite complex. But anyhow, we have the instruments we have, and we experience this Vyavaharika the way we experience, and these experiences, they leave behind impression. The impressions, they manifest as attraction or desires and aversion, and we will crave for more, and those vasanas are going to be present to Ishvara as the macrocosm, knowledge, intelligence of all souls resting in the pralaya, but yet asking for more. And Ishvara is going to reshape this manifestation once it comes out of this supposed deep sleep or rest for the grace of Ishvara, to bless the jivas with more opportunity to grow. Does it not make some more sense, Mark?
Yeah, definitely. It's the only thing that makes sense, really.
Yeah, I agree. Gaudapada's stand is that there was no creation in the beginning. The world did not arrive. If it arrived, why did it arrive? This is another question. If I take this model of theory of creation, which is creation is brought about, first, there are some energies playing to allow this superimposition, in consciousness. But then the world did not arrive. If it arrived, why did it arrive? So, it can only arrive because the living creatures, which are the jiva, human jivas, they are moved by desire and aversion. And we want more. We can see that we want more. Nobody wants to die. We want more experience, for the sake of pleasure or for the sake of extracting more knowledge. It arrives what? That's why I tend to say things sometimes. I say that jiva, human beings, are co-creators with the Lord, but not in the sense that a lot of people in the New Age world believes. Oh, I'm co-creating. I have control. No, you co-create because again and again you are presenting your desires and your aversions to the field, and they are there. Okay, so I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. So why does the world brings about our parabada again and again? Karma. It's what I want, what I do not want, and the attitudes and actions I bring into the field, and then my parabada arrives. Everything is mithya, yes, but mithya cannot be easily discarded, or rejected, because, as I often say, it is only within mithya that satya can be claimed, understood and claimed as my true nature. No? So the last aspect of this Karika is that this creation is only consciousness, is of the nature of consciousness, the Lord. So there is no creation. It's all the Lord. It's all Turiya. Where am I? The word has always been there in Brahman, either in unmanifest or manifest condition. The world was never created, nor did it arrive, but has always been there as name and forms in unmanifest or manifest condition. So this is the base of Vedanta. There is no creation, there is an apparent manifestation. This manifestation is not linear, it does not occur in time. Time occurs within the manifestation. Manifestation stands outside of time. It comes from pralaya, okay, the unmanifest condition, and then instantly it manifests, and then it changes from moment to moment. And then the living creatures have the opportunity to interact within it and get wisdom. The world has never been created, but it has always been there potentially as namarupas, from unmanifest to manifest. Mithya name and form is an integral part of Brahman. In which way? So Mithya is integral part of Brahman. This is a dangerous statement because Brahman has no part. It's a partless whole. Yeah? Mithya name and form, namarupas, all projections of namarupas, the Mithya reality is an integral part of Brahman. Gaudapada used the expression meaning, integral, non-separate parts to refer to this universe. This universe with Mithya, name and form, was never created by Brahman. And we can go even far enough to say that they are not integral part of Brahman. They appear to be integral part of Ishvara, not Brahman. Okay? The world, Jiva-atmas, we are integral part of Ishvara. Ishvara is a totality of the universe in which there are living creatures, sentient beings and inert beings. And the sentient beings are the creatures, yeah? And the creatures are enjoying the creation. The creation is there for the creatures, and Ishvara is the creator. So Jesus is there, and the Jiva-atmas are integral part of Ishvara, okay? So here it puts this Mithya Namarupas integral part of Brahman. This notion can be accepted now, but we need to understand that Brahman has no parts, and nothing can be integral part of Brahman, but we can present this concept as every Namarupas is integral part of Ishvara. Okay, the universe manifests. This universe, which is Mithya Namarupas, was never created by Bhagwan. It never arrived at a particular time, but has always existed in Brahman. So here he used two terms, by Bhagwan and Brahman. So Bhagwan, I believe he's meaning Ishvara. This universe is, which is a Mithya Namarupa, yeah? Superimposition of name and form, was never really created. It's a cyclical phenomenon. It exists beginninglessly, yeah? Sometimes unmanifest and some other time manifest. It never arrived at a particular time, but has always existed potentially in Brahman. It has always apparently existed in Brahman. Brahman is one without a second. Nothing exists within Brahman, to be precisely truthful about that. It has no beginning nor end. Referring to this in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, its form as such is not perceived here. It has no beginning, no middle, no end. Therefore, drop the word creation and we'll get out of confusion. So this may lead to another question, even though it's not discussed here, but I'm already addressing it. If Mithya Namarupas universe is an integral part of Brahman, does it not contradict the original statement that Brahman does not have any parts? Yes, contradict. The answer is that Mithya Mithya Namarupas, yeah, is as good as not apart. What is Mithya cannot be counted or taken as something existent. Yeah? If it's experienced but cannot be counted, like the shadow of a body, that's very nice, which is inseparable from the body. Shadow will have all the features, the shape of the body, but cannot be counted as a second entity. This is a brilliant moment to present this analogy. Yeah? So Brahman is one without a second. Yeah? It's a partless, non-dual, limitless whole. Yeah? And if it's said here that this Mithya universe is part of Brahman, it means to say it resolves itself in Brahman because it has no substance by its own. It's just a projection. It's when you look into the intrinsic true nature of the universe, we always come down to Satchitananda, okay? And then we say it resolves itself in Brahman as Brahman. But this Mithya universe, okay, although it's available for experience, now it has these two features. It appears and it's available for experience. Although it's there, how many things appear and available for experience, but they are not real in our day-to-day experience of life. Huh? So this universe made of all these Namarupas, they appear. But once we really examine the nature of this world, we will, following the logic present in the light of the logic of the Upanishad, we will understand that everything resolves back in Satchitananda, consciousness, existence. So therefore, there is no really creation, there is only Brahman. But Brahman is one without a second, because these Namarupas, they are just fundamentally only gold. There is no question of bracelet or ring or anything. It's all gold, okay? Likewise, all this consciousness, all this existence. So, and then the example, the brilliant moment of the shadow of a body, which is always associated to the body, like Maya is like the shadow of Brahman, which is always associated with Brahman, but it's unreal, but still projects, the shape of Brahman, so to speak, as the universe. It's inseparable and produces a certain phenomenon, but it's not really real. How can Brahman have a desire to create the world? Another aspect of this Karika. This cannot be answered by any, but any answer will lead to a lot of further questions. Ishvara does not have a desire to create the world. In Taittiriya Upanishad, the temporary description of creation of Bhagwan having a desire to create was given, but it's not a real description. The real explanation of creation is that there is no creation. I remember when I got to understand that many years when I was much in contact with James Watt, when I became aware that the only way to understand creation is by understanding that there's no creation. It was such a lightning moment. I said, oh my God, yes, of course. It's just a projection. There is no creation. Then all my problems are solved now. Now I understand. This is Mithya. So with this Karika, Gaudapada's analysis of the first 6 mantras of the Upanishad is over. Now we enter into the crucial 7th mantra of the Upanishad, the very famous big mantra, very rich, that is going to keep us busy for a few classes. Okie dokie. Sorry, we went over our time, but I want to conclude this mantra. So that we begin next week from the mantra 7, next Friday. Anything else? All is good? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, my friends. We meet again this coming Friday. Ishvara allowing.
Thank you, Arlinda. Another wonderful satsang.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you. Thank you, Lee.